Hello and welcome to the Just Another Castle podcast. I'm your host Matt, and with me this week is Mr. Business and MBA degree holder Mike.
That's great. Mr. Business, you know what time it is, all right?
The pro gaming, it's all business from here on out.
I'm sorry, guys. You guys want to talk about games? I'm like, of course. We can talk about future projections in games now. You know what I mean?
You need to get a mullet now. Mr. Business in the front and party in
Business
the back.
Guys, if anyone saw, I can't remember the name of the movie, but Matthew McConaughey, the gift where he's pounding his chest, that's me now, all the time.
Nice. And retro aficionado Unoclay.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
You may recognize the sound effect I just did from a certain video game I'll be talking about in a moment.
Okay, got it. I thought it was just like a random Tyrannosaurus Rex from Jurassic Park screaming at the beginning, or some random.
So I gave
quite tell.
Sound effects hour. So there you go. How you guys doing? Miss you guys with all these different weeks these days.
I
know.
Yeah, I never have to listen to Eli talk about Pokemon or Yoshi's World or anything else anymore. So
It feels good. You know? Like Clay's like no Pokemon. Feels great.
I'll find a way to figure it in somehow.
We know. But to the listeners, they love it.
So in this week's PokeCast.
Yuck, I'm out.
So this week, you're gonna see some wacky.
I'll just like record a regular podcast and just say random Pokemon names instead of like words or verbs or nouns, and just see.
It'll sound so different than whenever you guys talk about Pokemon anyway. It'll be completely different. Random words. I was at a party with full-blown adults, believe it or not, like older than you guys recently, and was surprised when like one of my friend's kids who is about 10, I'd say. Mm-hmm. I just, I was making small talk and I said, I always know what to ask those age kids. I'm like
how them Fortnites.
How's them Fortnites? How's them block forts you're building in that game with the blocks, the N64 blocks, whatever that game's called, Minecraft. There he is. And how's your Pokemons? And he doesn't play. He plays Fortnite. He does not play the block fort stuff. But he and his dad play Pokemon, and the dad's like full-grown adult like me, older than you guys by a significant amount, and it's like, yeah, pretty much that's the only game I play. Civilization and I play Pokemon, and I was like,
whatever, Sid 6 Civilization or something.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, well, he didn't specify because I know nothing about that series, but I was surprised because he doesn't even seem like the kind of person to be a Pokemon player. He's like, yeah, I've always been playing it since I was a little kid. I just still play it. And I was like,
so wait, how old is the dad? You said
he's about 40, I'd say. So he was.
So I guess he was like around 20 by the time it came out.
Yeah, I'd say so. He probably played the original OG, and I got to look cool because of you guys, and I was like, Eevee or Pikachu, and he's like Eevee all the way, bro, and I'm like, psh. That's all. I didn't know what else to
say. Just tell him he was wrong. That's it. That's all you gotta tell him. You'd be like, "Excuse me, no," and then you walk away.
I didn't want to like blow my cover. I just like left it go. I acted like I'm too cool to even comment on that. All right.
Nice.
Say some Eevee, I guess.
Well, I guess.
Totally.
Right. So I guess we'll get into what we've been playing. I haven't really been playing anything more lately, but I did, in case you didn't listen, last week or whatever, a couple of weeks ago or whatever, I picked up Bomb Chicken, which is the chicken pooping game where you hear eggs explode because they're all bombs from the Nintendo Direct, and I like it. It's cool. It's a little. I don't think it's that short because cheap enough, but I don't know. I think it's worth like the $15 or whatever you pay to get it. It's like about 30 levels, and then just the way you use bombs in different ways is neat. So I'd pick it up, and it can get challenging when you're trying to get like gems and stuff because you need a certain amount of gems each time to like get lives, and like you automatically start with a certain amount of lives for each level. So it's not like Mario where you run out of lives and you have to like keep getting coins. So they do some interesting things with it, and it's challenging, but I think it's also fair in a way. Like let's say you have to get a key card at one point, even if you get a key card and get a game over, as long as you restart the level, it'll still keep the key card, so you can just get through that part. Because I think it's fair, because like you already proved yourself once. What's the point of like going back through it again? Which, I mean, that works with other games too, like Mega Man and stuff. It's just whatever you feel like making, I guess. But I think it works for this game. They do a couple of things like that, which I think balances out well. But I just thought I'd bring it up because I just thought it was funny.
I remember that game being announced, but wasn't it announced like several directs ago? Is this like a game announced a while
So when I
back?
recorded it with Eli, it was like literally a year ago.
Okay.
It's like, oh, wow. Yeah.
So you
it was
just,
a while ago.
Grab it. What pushed you to get it now? Like you just were looking for a new short game to play or something like that?
Yeah, I forget what oh, right. I finished the Spider-Man DLC before, and I'm like, well, I didn't want to pick up Yoshi because I don't think it's going to be my thing. So why don't I look into my eShop list, because there's like more than a dozen games. There's got to be at least like 24 games there. I'm like, oh, cool. I'll check out this. It's probably short enough.
Yeah, I asked because like I struggle with that, like because at this point my eShop list is probably 40 or 50 games deep, and it's like it's like hard to decide. You know, it's like, so I'm always curious what pushes you to like pull the trigger. You know, it's like you were finished with a major AAA game. That makes sense. Go to something small like this, you know.
It's pretty much because there was a pocket of no other big releases. So I'm like, oh, I can finally dive into this, because I do want to. It's just a matter of like,
for sure,
you know, something else comes in the way, and it's like, oh, you can't do it now.
Yeah.
So you got to push it off.
Trust me, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. Every game. That's cool. Awesome. Yeah, it looks like it got decent scores, like 8s and stuff from major review sites. So, you know, it's like, all right, cool. Sounds like a cool little game. I really doubt I'm gonna have a chance to play it. I'm just buried, you know, like always. But it does. It's got cool little graphics there.
Yeah, I like it. Unrelated, I don't know if you guys are seeing Avengers, but I bought the opening night tickets this morning. I heard they were going live at like 8:00 in the morning. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'll get up in time for that, and I got it, and got a bunch of tickets for my friends and I, because I want to make it a thing.
Completely honest and say, what Avengers? Like, I'm being completely serious.
Well, I guess it's more towards Mike.
Yo, like he's talking about not Avengers, the Avengers. Clay, you.
Is it like Avengers 3 or something, or what? Like, I'm genuine.
The final one. It's Endgame.
It's supposedly the last one, so it makes it even more. Well, you know, the last one with current actors. There's so many rumors around it that the rumors are better than the movie already. So.
I mean, you guys know I watched some of them. I loved Spider-Verse. It was friggin' awesome. Like, totally. Should have seen it in theater. So if you didn't, I know Mike was like anti it on the chat. I mean, Matt, I know you're going to see it.
I actually did see it a little while
I'll
ago.
never see it. Wait,
I thought it was pretty good.
The Japanese trailer and be like, man, this movie's way better.
No, I didn't. I'll have to check that out.
It's so good, though. The Japanese trailer, it's so good for no reason.
Nice. Matt, you liked the Spider-Man movie?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. I don't think it was like, oh my gosh, amazing. Like,
Really?
I don't think it was bad. I enjoyed it a lot, but
typical Matt. You don't want to hate on something.
No, it's not. No, trust me, I'll hate on something if I hate it. But no, I thought it was a great movie.
I thought it was because it breaks the format of all the other Marvel movies in a lot of ways, because it's not just an origin story. It is an origin story, but it's an insane origin story. Like. And it's meta, and I just liked it because it was different, you know? Like,
I think it's because I play a lot of the video games.
Okay.
So it's like one of the games, I guess a couple of them do this, but one of them is called Shattered Dimensions, and it's the same kind of premise where you have 4 different Spider-Mans from 4 different universes interacting with each other. Actually, I don't know if they interact, but you play them, and they all have different traits.
That's interesting, because to casual scum like myself and my friends that saw it, we loved it because we don't have that much closeness to it. That it's like, this is insane. Like this, you know, it was so outlandish. If you haven't been following that close, you know, to see all that stuff. I really like the animation.
I totally get that.
Too. You know, the visuals were really insane. Like just seeing Green Goblin and the way they made it blurry sometimes and like weird graphics, like just to like emphasize the dimensions and stuff. That was what sold me on it. I was like, I just like that you're being daring with this and not just like, here's an animated movie with an origin story, the end, or whatever. So, yeah, cool. Whatevs. Nintendo podcast all about Marvel flicks.
Definitely.
Sorry. Awesome. Hey, you're
It's
the
okay,
one.
man. I mean, don't worry. Avengers has one of the worst games I've ever played on Super Nintendo. So it's all good. It's all good.
Which one? I don't think I've ever played it. Which one?
It's called The Avengers. It's
Okay.
super bad. It's on Super Nintendo, so you get to choose if you want to be Archer guy. It might be Green Arrow, or
Yeah.
it might be what's
Hawkeye.
his name? Yeah, it might actually be Hawkeye because he's got like that terrible purple costume of the 80s, 90s. Iron Man, Iron Lad. No, but Iron Man. There's one girl. I'm actually gonna look it up.
Yeah, I'm looking it up. There's a golden guy.
Yes, it's so bad. Yeah, Captain America or like some gold guy. I have it.
don't know who
It's
that
so
goes.
bad of a game. I
Oh,
cannot
Grizzly.
tell you. It's so shitty too. If you watch it, like even if you play it, like it's bad game. The voice acting's terrible and it's just not fun. It's just a terrible side-scrolling beat 'em up.
Is it modeled after the arcade Avengers, like the one that's like a 4-player brawler from the arcade?
Yes. Captain America and the Avengers is the actual name, and it's so bad. It's like, oh, every time you get hit once.
Because that game is fondly remembered, just like the Simpsons arcade, like as a
So
brawl.
that game is trash. If you want the real arcade brawlers, are the Simpsons, X-Men, and freaking TMNT. Like then the Avengers and Captain America and the Avengers is actual dog shit. If I see it in an arcade, I will break the machine.
Well, have you?
It's that bad.
My question seriously is, did you only play it on SNES, or because I've never played the SNES?
I've actually never known that was an arcade game. I've never seen it in any arcade I've been in. Like the ones I listed were the ones that are usually the arcade ones.
Gotcha. Before you smash a very valuable arcade machine, I'd say play it because it's maybe the port to SNES is bad. I've never played it, but like the arcade one isn't much different than like X-Men or like Simpsons. Like, so if you like those, it would be like, unless you just hate those.
It's too late. Too late.
Too late.
Yeah, I got this itch. I'm going in there. I'm gonna walk right back out, and I'm coming with an axe or a baseball bat, and I'll be like, "Don't worry, stay in this place." And it'll be like, oh, "We were cursed by this garbage game," and I'll be like, "Don't worry." I'm like, "Here's a ROM hack. Here's some real arcade side-scrolling brawlers."
Here's
like,
the MAME 32. Have as many brawlers.
Yeah, I
as
was
you
like,
want.
here's a meme.
Oh God, no, I'm kidding.
But to wrap up what I was saying, it's just crazy because anytime you have some sort of like, oh, you have to go online to buy something, and there's usually a bum rush and everything goes to crap. I bought them like 8 a.m. or whatever when they went on sale, and I was still floating around the website, whatever, for like 2 hours. Like I already bought them, but I was going back to show pictures of seating and whatever, and not until like 2 hours later at 10 o'clock did it actually like slow down. And even like, I don't know, at 8 o'clock at night, I went back just to see like, oh, has it fixed itself yet? No, it's still like incredibly slow. There's still a lot of tickets left because I live somewhere, somewhat in the middle of nowhere. But It's just like crazy to see like how screwed up something can get online. Like,
I don't want to
still like screw up.
I don't want to derail it too much, but it's funny because you say about that your willingness to go on opening night like that, and like I definitely had like an old man moment the other day because I don't know if you guys are familiar with the film Us, US, that just came out. Like it's like a horror film. Mm-hmm. It's very, very popular. It's getting a ton of buzz. It's by the guy that made Get Out, Jordan Peele, I think his name is, the guy from Key and Peele.
Yeah,
and very big film, very hot, and we went. It's been out over a week, and we went on Friday night. Me and my wife tried to see it at like they had 8 showings at the big theater near us. We went at like 10:30 at night, and we got there, and the line was deeper than anything more than like Star Wars or whatever. And it was just like, wait, why are there so many people in line? They have like 8 showings of it tonight. And we pull up the map on her phone, and it's like the theater's full. Like it's full. Yeah, it's like we're gonna have to sit in the second to front row, and we're gonna have people on both sides of us, and we just bailed. I'm like, I'm pulling my old man card here. I'm like, it's not that I mind it, but it's going to be tons of people like talking and like on their phones and stuff during the movie, and that drives me crazy. And I was like, nah, we'll come back in a week or two when it calms down, because I was like, I don't need to see this that bad. You know, it's not like whatever. But it was funny. It was like, wow, this movie's getting some serious buzz, and it was against Captain Marvel in the same theater. And I was like, that tells you a lot. I was like, I think people are slowing down on some of these Marvel movies, like, because there's way more buzz at this theater anyway for this other film, you know, this one-off, like, kind of unique film or whatever. So I don't know. It was interesting. I didn't get to see it yet, so looking forward to it. But movies, the movie cast. Anyhow, I'm sure our listeners love movies too.
All right, I'll stop talking about that. So, Mike, what have you been playing these last couple of weeks?
All right. Well, besides the usual Smush and Overwatch, Smash Ultimate for you guys. Let's see. I tried to go back to Pokemon Go. I just can't do it. Pokemon's done for me. I'm have to officially retire. You guys just know it's over for me. I just can't do it. Just can't play it. Like, Heart Gold, Soul Silver is too good. Every other game is trash since I played that. So that's unfortunate. But RIP that. Let's see. I did download. Oh wait. Oh, I'm gonna get Yoshi when I go back to New York. Like I said, I'm gonna play with my brother and Phil. So because I heard it's super good co-op. So I'll let you guys know when I get it. I've been playing Disgaea 1 complete. I've played Disgaea a lot on the series throughout time. Disgaea D2, Disgaea 5. So Disgaea 1 complete is on the Switch. It came out in October. Very fun tactical RPG game. Way better than garbage ass Fire Emblem. So
did Disgaea 1 on Switch a while ago? I remember talking about it at one point.
Yeah, I wanted it, and then I didn't get it until like last month. But
gotcha.
yeah, I picked it up. And though it is the first one, so it's a bit dated. Like, even though they cleaned it up, like compared to Disgaea 5, it's not as good, obviously, and it's a bit harder because, you know, it's just basically the same. It's the first game.
Yeah.
They just use all the updated models and everything because all these characters always appear in a later game. They're not. Every game is not the same, but the main heroes always appear in other Disgaeas. So they used all the updated models, and you know they cleaned up everything, which is nice. But it reminded me, I was like, damn, Disgaea 1. I love it a lot. Like, even an anime was based off it. But I was like, yo, this game is this one's a bit dated, especially like I just came off playing 5 before I played this one, and I was just like, damn, I can't do this. Like, why can't I do that? And then I'm like, oh yeah, those are all new things. You know what I mean? In Disgaea that I'm trying to do, rather than what it was like to play that game in 04, 05, or what. It came out for the PS2 in like 2002 or 3 or something like that, and then it got remade on the PSP, and that's when it got super popular.
Weird, it got popular on the PSP of all things.
Yeah, I mean, it also came on the DS, but that version is like actual dog poop, and nobody played it. So like, it's just like at the time when like with games would go both the PSP and DS, usually the PSP had the better port. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it was just because more like I felt like Nintendo, I felt like third parties had no idea how to develop for the DS. Only like Nintendo and some second parties they helped out. Let's see. I'm trying to remember. I feel like I played I played this game called Spellbreak. It was like an alpha. Oh, now I remember. I gotta tell you guys other stuff. But yeah, it was pretty cool. But everything's BR, and I got bored of BR after like 2 days. And I'm like, yo, this is pretty cool. It was like had magic and spells and shit, and like Diablo skill classes meets like open world magic fighting, which sounds cool. It is cool, but like I just can't. DR just can't maintain me. Like, I'm just like, all right.
I'm sorry, Mike, you're saying DRs. Could you explain? I'm not sure if I'm following what you mean.
Battle Royales, BR.
Oh, like, Battle Royales. I thought you were saying D as in dog.
Oh, no. I'm not Dance Dance Revolution.
Yeah, it's like that's what I was like. I'm confused what he's talking about. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. These games just there's no end game. There's no purpose. So like I just don't care. Like there's no reward. Like, okay, I win, go again. All right, I lose, go again. What do you effing do?
I guess,
you know what I mean?
To throw a wrench in the thing, couldn't you say the same thing about, let's say, Smash Online or
Smash
any other
Brothers.
fighting
Smash Online,
like a fighting game or something?
Yeah, like, Smash
Well,
Online is so bad. Like, they need to completely, like, they need to recall every Smash Ultimate and fix online. Like, the UI and the interface for online is actual dog shit. Like, I hate playing online. I love Smash Ultimate locally. I cannot stand this game.
So
on the internet.
let's say, what's the difference between, let's say, playing a multiplayer game, local, online, whatever. Let's just assume it works versus like a battle royale.
I'm not
game.
gonna be like, oh, online has 7 frames of input delay, all that other bullshit. It's just boring. Like I'm forced to select one character. I'm RNG to a stage. You know what I mean? Like like at least when I play local, I can I can switch anytime I want. I don't have to worry about all this other stuff. I don't have to be like, oh man, I hope I don't get into a 2-stock FD game and I'm looking for a 3-stock Battlefield game. In addition, I only get to play Battlefield or FD. Like Resident Sleeper, dude. Like give me some of the other legal stages. Legal for tournament legal. Like it doesn't matter for like you guys, but I'm just saying, like I can't take it. And then like, bro, if I want to fight the same guy, I'm like, okay, what if this guy is mediocre at the game? All right, I'm like, yo, like I'm like, all right, and like I'm like, let me switch my character. Maybe I can get some character matchup practice. Nope, that ain't happening online. So like,
I think you're kind of answering two different questions now, because I get what Matt was asking, because I thought the same thing. I think I know maybe what Mike's answer is, but I want to hear him talk about it more than just say what I think he means, because you're kind of asking him. Your complaint about like Battle Royale was like, oh,
so
you just kind of like win and then so what? Yeah.
Yeah. So my question was, like, I guess what do you find different about, like, how is playing a Battle Royale match over and over again different compared to, let's say, Smash or something, or another game over? Because technically you're both playing matches over and over again.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's if you get down to, like, I guess the logistics are, like, the main core of it. Like, okay, it's the same thing if I say, why did you guys play Splatoon and Mario online? Like, you know what I mean? But the thing is, like, at least there's different ranks as well. Like even if GSP means poop, and I don't know if the Splatoon ranks are right, at least there's that satisfaction. Like, even in Marvel's Capcom, you go up in rank, you know, or you have your record. Like, when you play freaking those VR games, yo, your record don't matter. Like, it's like, oh, you have overall 22.3 kills. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm like, I killed a foot? Like, when the hell did the 0.3 come at? Like, it's like, nobody, it's not even impressive. Like, who cares? Like, okay, he got 22 games.
That's an answer. That's an answer.
After 500 games? Like, nobody knows. Like, nobody cares either. That's the thing. There's no passion. There's no competitiveness in it. And RNG is stupid.
I mean, that's an answer. I mean, if you're talking specifically about like Fortnite, that is an answer. And that's what I kind of wondered if you were getting at, because there isn't really a sense of progression besides like getting better costumes. Like, that's really it. Like, you know, and it's like, that's why I quit. As soon as I won one time, I quit. I don't hate it. I don't have the animosity toward it that you do. But I agree that I was like, well, what do I do now? I won. And then
like, well, just go again.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I see Matt's point too, because I totally understand. It's like, well, the point is to get better, just like Smash. Because like Matt said, perfect example, you could say the same thing about Smash. Like, you just go back and fight again, and win or lose, that's what you're going to do all night long. You're going to go back and fight again, and the point is to get better. But I get it, because with Smash, you're ranking up, and there's more of a competitive scene. In Fortnite, it's more like, I do get it. It is hard to put into words. It's an interesting reaction. You know?
I agree with you. I wasn't saying it because I even agreed that they're the same. I just wanted to see, you know, what kind of answer he'd get. Because
and then Mike tears into Smash Online. Then he's like, and fucking Smash Online.
Well, I mean, you said that. What about Smash Online? Like, that go. I'm like, Smash Online. All right, like.
We know. We heard Zero's rant. We know.
Speaking of Smash. He did an I don't know, commentate on some battles, so maybe he'll do that again, and more people will see that. That's some good stuff.
Yeah. Thank you, Matt. Thank you. What do you call it? I was just like trying to give like an inside perspective. I thought Zero just played super well, so I was like, oh, people should realize what he actually did. You know what I mean? Instead of like, oh well, you know, that was it. They played the game. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, I love these new Smash updates coming out, but I don't think that's gonna change anything UI wise, user interface. But you know, Smash is a good. Smash will always be a good game because it'll always be fun. You know what I mean? Like that's where Nintendo has succeeded in itself. It's just a very fun game. It's just I don't know. Like I just feel like they still haven't figured out how to do online internet. You know,
No, definitely
it's crazy. Like it's crazy, man. Like they knew this game was gonna be like their top online game, and they're all like, you know. So,
yeah.
Other than that, let me see. I'm trying to think. Did I play anything else? Okay, so guys, I remember I was telling you guys. So I played these iOS games for money. Like, hey, you guys wanna make some money? I was like, money's cool. You've got my interest. I'm getting an MBA. You know, they're like, oh, we got him, sucker.
You're a slut. You're nothing but a slut.
So I had to download these games, and I downloaded 3 games. I couldn't take it anymore. I still have the option of doing more. I'm not doing them. So I downloaded Final Fantasy 15: A New Empire, Marvel Contest of Champions, and Looney Tunes Mayhem. They're all the
good
same.
titles, at least. Like all of them are
Weird.
games I've heard of
Yeah.
or series I've
They're
you know?
they're
I'm like, okay.
recognizable brands.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
of course. Yeah. Dude, every game on an iPhone is the same. And they're not all their business models are the same. All the games are the same. They're just reskinned different versions, different characters of the same effing game. The Looney Tunes game was literally like that Draglia Nintendo game I played, which is actually not that bad. Like I was kind of interested in it, and then I deleted it because I was like, I can't keep playing this because this is an iPhone. This is a shame. It's sham. It's a shame. It's a scam. All 3. All right, and luckily all those words are in tin. So like this
good review.
Boom, send that to the press.
It's a shame, it's a shame, it's a scam. They're all the same. The end.
Shame,
0.1.
Shame, sham, scam. It's all the same. Go on. Next. So the Looney Tunes game is literally like that Draglia game. You get 3-star heroes and 4-star heroes and the weaker 2-star heroes, and you RNG and you get your daily treasure chest to get more heroes, and you do these missions. Ooh, and then you run out of energy on the day, and you have to wait 5 minutes to an hour to get your energy back. Or you could pay real money to get some stuff, like better heroes. And I'm like, bro, who the like? Obviously, I didn't pay $1.
Yeah.
So I did
like if I
2
pay
weeks.
anything, that's already like I already wasted my money.
Yeah, I was like, this is
they paid me 30
like,
cents to pay this, and the lowest amount I can pay is $1. Crap,
bro. There's
the question. Yeah, if you're getting paid, didn't they give you free DLC if they're trying to get your review, or is that
I started off with some mediocre stuff, but that's about it. All right? Like I started off with stuff you can probably get like 7 levels in. Okay, so like the first 6 levels, I'm like, oh, this is pretty easy. You know what I mean? It's pretty fun because I'm winning. But so, dude, do you want to know? Okay, there's 99 cents. The most common is $4.99 to buy stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, there is treasures and gold and heroes guaranteed 5-star if you spend $99.99 on some of these things. And I'm like,
crap.
I was like, how dare they even put $100 price tag in an iOS game? And I was like, double, like, shame. Okay, like somebody needs
someone
to
pays it,
go
bro.
to jail if they actually click buy for $99.99.
Someone pays it, dude. Somebody buys that stuff. That's when they do it.
I'm flabbergasted.
That's hilarious.
Like,
well,
it
Mike,
was so bad.
You used to shame us for ever suggesting that any game on a non-console could be good. The shame has come home to roost. You are the shame.
Yeah,
you are now the shame.
The Looney Tunes game was just basically swipe, attack, cool. Hope I get it. Once you get a 4-star hero, you basically win until later on when the characters get good. Marvel Contest of Champions, same shit, except this time I'm tapping my phone with my thumb so they do punches rather than easy RNG. I was like, man, I missed the Looney Tunes game. At least I can play on the toilet. Like, at least I can play with one hand that game, okay? Freaking the Marvel game, I'm like, oh, we gotta block and dash back. I'm like, this is some horseshit. This game blows ass, okay? and then the last one, Final Fantasy 15, A New Empire. Now, this was the worst one of them all because I had to get to like level 15 to get money, and like I swear to you, after the first 6 levels, I had to wait like 2-3 hours a day to build one building,
Oh my
and
gosh.
I only got paid when this one main building got built. And you would always have these little requirements to build other shit around it. And I'm like, yo, I have no stones. And it's like every second I come out of the game to answer a text and go back in, it would give me the $5 option to buy something. And I'm like, go
Oh my
away.
God.
Oh my god.
Every time. Every time you left
let
it.
me ask you-
I'm
matter-
looking
let
at
me
this
ask you
thing,
something.
and the funny thing is, you would never tell it's a Final Fantasy game unless they like specifically show it, because it's just like, here's an area of land and you got to build buildings.
Oh yeah. There's no Final Fantasy aspect of it all. It's just I'm Noctis, and then everything else you build.
He shows his face and then leaves.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
So-
yeah.
Let me
I'm
ask
totally
you, Mike.
Noctis. Whatever. See you later.
There's something about this that smells fishy to me. I want to ask you a question. I wonder if you thought about this or not. Is it possible that whatever company, whatever group, whatever person, whoever that hired you to do this, that really this isn't actually caring about your review at all? It's literally just to get people to pay it, and then maybe some of you buy stuff?
Yeah, that's,
I mean,
that's actually what it is, in my opinion. I completely agree
Okay.
with it. I thought about that like a weekend. I was like,
Yeah.
yo, the payout for this is so minimal that it's
Yeah.
like, I'm pretty sure if I buy like a $20 thing, it'll be like, ha, sucker, we made a profit.
Right.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
Yeah, because the
Right.
amount they give you is so low that if you spend anything, then they make a profit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I basically made like
Interesting.
$20 a pop for each. It's like, man, over the time and boringness that I played for it, like the only time I think it was ever good was like when I was on like doing my laundry, and I was like, I don't feel like leaving, and I did it, and I was like, man, the more I played, if I play this for longer than 5 minutes, all I could think about is how terrible it is.
Well, that's
Oh,
the great
like,
thing
that
with
was,
these
like,
games.
threshold
They
quality.
they make you wait so long, it basically plays itself. It's like, oh,
Yeah,
wait
dude.
5 hours to the next thing. All right, well.
That's
Yeah,
amazing.
it's just
So dumb.
it's a crime, man. But yeah,
I wish I could say I'm
would never
sorry
play
for you,
Iron
Mike,
Man.
but
I'll never play like I can't like I don't know. Once again, I've always said this, and you know what? I gave it a shot, guys. I played some iOS games, and you guys, anyone who has it has got less than 1 IQ, and they have no respect for me. I gotta tell you guys straight up. Yeah,
Done.
That's
Done.
it. End of review. Not only Shame, Scam, and Sham, but at the end of it, it goes: if you play one of these, never read my reviews, or never come to me again, or just never speak to me. All right, that's it.
jeez. Harsh. You're banned.
Yeah. I'm like, oh, they're like, oh, I like this iOS game. I'm like, hold up, enter/ban. Okay, enter. Good.
Oh my
I was
God.
like, I can go. I would rather play Fortnite. And guess what the worst part is? It's on mobile. So I won't ever. Okay. SpongeBob, me boy, you're a sucker.
Oh my God. He's going off the rails,
Oh,
people.
man. They broke him.
They broke this guy. Good stuff,
All
Mike.
right. Oh my gosh, that's insane. So, Unoclay, what have you been playing lately?
I'll knock some stuff out quick. We've been going on about what we've been playing for quite a while, and Marvel movies and shames, scams, and shams, and all the iOS that this podcast can handle. I gave a shout quote at the beginning of the podcast because I dove back into Skyrim, and now it kind of hooked me. I'll admit, not the kind of game I always typically play, but I kind of got stonewalled months ago and just got distracted by other games because my character, like, I'd leveled him up pretty far, but I'm trying to just follow the magic route and not use like melee at all, just like really build a wizard kind of.
Wait, so what game are you
And-
talking about?
Sorry, didn't I say Skyrim?
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
No,
sorry,
that's
sorry,
okay.
sorry.
You're just
Go
like, I
back
was a
into
mage and I leveled up. I'm like, wait, this could be like
Yeah,
any
I'm
number
sorry.
of games. That's okay.
I'm sorry. Yes, I dove back into Skyrim. I don't know if I mentioned it. Yeah, that's what I've been playing a lot the last week. It really hooked me. Now, basically, all it took for anyone out there that it didn't click for, ask a friend. Like, just do it. Just like ask a friend what you're doing wrong, because like I was playing it, it wasn't clicking for me, and it's because I was really trying to like build a mage, a high level like wizard type character, and my friend had warned me that's kind of the hardest route to take because it takes a longer while to like level up your spells and stuff. And long story short is I had played about 30 hours of it and then not gone back to it for like a year, and I forgot how to get better magic, and I was just wandering around randomly, and I just asked my friend, I was like, why do my spells suck? Like why do all monsters seem to beat me when I fight them? He's like, you need to like go buy some better spells. And I'm like, where? This is an enormous game, bigger than, you know, Zelda, you know, ostensibly might be as big or bigger than the Zelda map, you know, whatever, for Skyward Sword, I was going to say, for Breath of the Wild. You know, I'm like, I don't know where. And it's certainly not as intuitive as something like Breath of the Wild, at least not to me. He just showed me where to go. I went back to like one of the original cities. All of a sudden I'm a bomb ass wizard who can like kill demons and, you know, kill skeletons like with one hit of my fireballs and stuff, you know, and I can actually play the game and finish quests, and all of a sudden it's actually fun. You know, I'm like, okay, now I get it. So I kind of got it. All of a sudden I get Skyrim. I'm like, oh, I get why this is fun. Like, it's overwhelming, and I know I'll burn out well before I do even a percentage of the stuff in the game. I can definitely, it's way too big, you know, for me to ever get close to even a percent that's worth mentioning of finishing it. But there are rewarding moments that you finish little quests, you know, you like somebody like even the little stuff can be fun. You know, it's like, oh, there's a bunch of you know, there's something going wrong in our town. Can you go investigate that cave over there? Oh, it turns out it's infested with like, you know, dark sorcerers, you know, and you're like, okay, I gotta go down here and like clean these guys out, you know, and that's kind of entertaining. So I've been playing that. And the only other thing worth mentioning, I'm playing a ton of games, but like the thing worth mentioning is I put a picture on my Twitter account on Unoclay_Switch. But I had this guy in England. This is on the retro front for all you real retro nerds. This is max level like 8 out of 10. There's a little bit of a homebrew scene for Virtual Boy. No joke. I'm not being ironic. There's like people that build games for Virtual Boy, like now, even currently. And the thing is, the only way to play it is you need to have a flash card like that you can put into your Virtual Boy, because you got to be able to like put a ROM into your Virtual Boy. And I'd been reading about this, and I found the guy that designed the original one. Naturally, Matt, you're always a guy that like like gets humor like this or laughs about stuff like this. Naturally, as soon as I bought it and paid for it, another developer, after years of working on it secretly, comes out of the woodwork and is like, he built a better flash cart like that's coming out like this year, but it's double the price. So I'm not sad.
Yeah.
I won't. You know, it's like,
dude, just gotta wait for one of those secondhand parties to get one of those to get that flash card. Boom, and then you just jack it up that site.
Virtual Boy is so obscure that, bro, I think I'd be waiting a minute. Like, this is like people like people are hand making these for real. It's like you have to send them a sacrifice cart for them to make it. It's that level, you know. It's like you have to mail them, like, you know. And so one more copy of Mario Tennis for the Virtual Boy went to the Great Games graveyard in the sky, because that's one of the most common games. And I was like, I wonder what he'd do if I sent him like a valuable, rare Virtual Boy game. I'm like, yeah, sacrifice.
He'd probably keep it and buy another thing and like replace
he sure would. He sure would. He's like one of the. Yeah, totally. But no, you send it to him, you pay him. He lives in the UK. He mailed it back, and it's awesome because there are people that are so creative and weird and spend all this time learning like programming. I think most of them programming in C or in C++. I'm not sure which, but like they do these builds of games, and then you can save yourself money too, because there's only about 20 Virtual Boy games, but there's about 5 of them that are very expensive. So that's another reason to have it, that you're like, well, you can finally play like English language Jack Brothers, which is one of the most valuable, or Waterworld, which is famously terrible, but the cartridge costs upward of $100, you know, and stuff like that, you know, to play them. So there's that, you know. But it's neat. I just find it really neat because it's creative. It's like these people make these games for a system that almost no one has. If they have it, it's half broken. It's unpopular. It's bizarre. And yet there's this weird community of people that are like, no, I love Virtual Boy. I'm going to spend like 2 years building a video game for it, you know, for maybe a couple hundred people to play.
Yeah, I thought it was weird when I heard people were doing that for the Dreamcast, let alone the Virtual Boy.
Right. Well, Dreamcast is like super popular in an underground scene in comparison, you know, so, and probably way harder to build for. I mean, Dreamcast is probably light years harder to program for, like, than Virtual Boy.
Yeah, true.
Because Virtual Boy is only a step between like Game
like
Boy,
2D sprites, yeah.
SNES, you know. So it's like, I mean, I was looking at some of the programming code that these guys are doing, and like I learned to program years and years ago, and I don't remember much of it at all, but I could read some of it, you know, and I was like, oh, it had that moment where I was like, maybe I should build. I was like, no, no, I don't need 2 years of doing this. Like, you know? But yeah, it's called Flash Boy. If anyone's curious, I got the Flash Boy Plus is the model that's like out now. If you hit me up on Unoclay underscore underscore switch on Twitter, I could give you the address of the guy and get you in contact or whatever with him. But it's neat. It cost me about what did it cost me? About $100 US. Like once it was all shipped and said, that included a copy of Mario Tennis that I bought on eBay or whatever. So it's an interesting thing. If you have a working Virtual Boy, that's another challenge that I can also help you with if you hit me up, any listeners, because you have to usually do a few rounds of repairs for that. But I have a finally reliably working Virtual Boy, and I really enjoy it. It's fun. I've been playing 3D Crosswords, a game a guy built. It's like if this crossword puzzles were 3-dimensional that you have to build upwards, downwards, and like in the third axis.
Okay,
it's pretty hilarious.
Say you paid $100 to play something you can get in the newspaper for free.
No, I don't even like crossword puzzles. Like I think they suck, but it's kind of fun. It's like in Star Wars when they do the 3D chess.
Yeah.
It's the same idea. You're like playing crosswords in three dimensions, and I'm like,
that is cool.
This is a great idea. Like, what a funny idea to sit around and build, or whatever. And there's a lot of different ones like that. So that's what I've been playing. Getting a lot of headaches. Kidding. Nah, that's not true for me. I never get headaches from playing Virtual Boy. I don't know why people say that. So that's it. I've been playing lots of other stuff, but I'll wrap there because we got news to talk about, my friend.
Yeah. When are you gonna get that Dragon's Lair anniversary for the Switch?
I already have Dragon's Lair. Are you talking about did they release a collection of Dragon's Lair?
One and the second one that I never knew existed.
Yep. I have that same collection for Wii, original Wii, and the graphics are already as good as they're going to get. It's not like they're remastering them. It's like the original Don Bluth art or whatever.
I didn't know because I was when I looked at it, I was like, I thought the Wii one only had the first one, and then I saw somebody playing the second one. I was like, "There's a second one." You know what I mean?
Yeah, Dragon's Lair 2. I've never finished that one. I played it in the arcade a couple times, and I honestly never finished it on the Wii. I played through.
I heard it's hard. I heard that one's even harder. You gotta look for hints in the art and stuff to get unlocked. So I'm just like, oh damn, it's not all just reactions. It's like
you're making me remember. I got to go back to that. I'm getting it out of my library right now, for real. I'm walking in my library as we're talking, and I'm pulling it out of the library because I have it right in front of me here somewhere. And here it is, Dragon's Lair trilogy.
Nice.
Yeah, I've never I was my little brother isn't easily impressed, but I was giving him a little bit of a taste of it, getting impressed when we were at an arcade in his town a few weeks ago, and they had an original Dragon's Lair machine there. And I can't finish it anymore cold, but I could at least get 20 screens into it before I got killed, because I was because everybody knows how hard.
That's awesome, though. I'm always dude, all I remember was just raging all the time, and I was like, I'm about to buy this anniversary set just so I can practice, so I can go to the arcade and impress people, be like,
If you still have your Wii hooked up or any way to play a Wii game, get it. I bet it's cheap on Wii unless it's a collector's item, and you can probably save some money unless you just want it on Switch because. Those games are awesome if you love the art. It's Don Bluth, classic animator. They're hilarious too. But they are just quick time events. You are just memorizing quick time events. It's
I think those are. I like QTEs. Not gonna lie. So I'll probably look for it on the Wii then. I know a few retro stores, and my Wii's always hooked up when I get home anyway. So I do my Wii and N64 and SNES are never unhooked. So
totally. Awesome. Yeah, try it out. You might like it. If you like QuickTime events, that's all it is. It's a bunch of but it's like watching a movie where you memorize every scene and then you can finally see the final scene, see what happens at the end, and see Maid Marian and rescue the day or whatever. So it's cool. Awesome.
Cool. So I think we'll move on to some, quick announcements and then news. I don't want to stay too long on the announcements. So I'll just say Twitch Prime gives you a year's subscription of Switch Online, which I think is pretty neat. I'm not sure if they do this with other... with Xbox Live or anything, but I thought it was neat that Nintendo's partnering with them to do that.
For sure.
And then Shantae has a new game coming this year, which is kind of a surprise out of nowhere. At least that it's... Yeah, anyway, I thought it was a surprise. So if you like Shantae, there's a new game coming, and Castle Crashers is getting remastered. That is a very old game. I remember it was a Newgrounds game, for crying out loud. But that one's a pretty cool game too, worth checking out. But
Yeah.
on to some news. So I think we'll skip to this other one first. So Monolith Soft may be working on a Zelda game. That's the Xenoblade guys. They're hiring for a Zelda game, which is normal because they've helped the team with past games like Breath of the Wild before.
Oh no, did that help? I'm out.
So yeah. So the difference here being that someone pointed out back when Monolith Soft showed some artwork or some concept art for their new game that they started around 2 years ago or a couple of years ago. Someone saw the Hylian crest in the background, which is the Triforce symbol with the bird underneath. It's kind of blurry, but you can like make it out a bit. So I don't know if this is happening or not. It could just be a coincidence, or it's concept art. Who knows? Could mean nothing. But regardless of if it's happening or not, would you want to see them try to tackle a Zelda game, whether that's a new mainline one or some kind of weird spin-off?
I'll answer first.
Okay, go.
Yeah,
sure. I'm sure you have thoughts.
I mean, if you would have said everything but before that BOTW statement, I was like, yo, I'm in. I mean, they make cool art design. I like the design of the Monolith Soft stuff. Like, it's like futuristic-y, but like, you know what I mean? But like ancient, archaic. So hopefully, I mean, I don't know if we're going to get a Zelda anime or not anime, RPG, or if they're going to try to make a Zelda game more RPG-esque, like compared to like BOTW's too American RPG for my taste. Okay, that makes it even worse. But if they try to make it a little bit more JRPG, if they try that, that'd be pretty cool. I just hope it's not like Xenoblade's garbage combat system. Those games are so overrated in combat system. It's so boring, dude. I mean, I remember I played 90 hours of Xenoblade 2, and that was like after I was like, man, I was like, I gotta finish this game. And then it would be like, oh, this is a cool cutscene. I'm like, now I'm back into it. And then I'd play actual gameplay of it for 30 minutes, and I'm like, damn it all. You know what I mean? So, as long as it's not the Xenoblade combat system, I'm cool with it. Monolith Soft has, I mean, they've done good things for Nintendo. So, Nintendo owns them now, right? Like after like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
Xenoblade, yeah. So
they are part of Nintendo effectively in any significant way. I mean,
yeah. So it's not like, oh man, they're getting another company to do it. It's like, I mean, in my opinion, I'd rather have Capcom make Zelda games. They know how to make Zelda games. Actually, they are. Link's Awakening, baby. Oh, I wonder if Capcom is gonna be on the title thing though. Like, you know what I mean?
I don't think
they'll get a credit for sure.
Did they make
100%? They'll get a producer credit.
I think they only made the Oracle games and Minish Cap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. Yeah. So I was just wondering because I mean, it has been rumored lately that we're gonna get an Oracle game, because we're gonna get Link's Awakening, and I was like,
I wouldn't be
they
surprised.
are pretty similar. So
because like you have the engine there.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I mean, if you have the whole engine, it's like, are you gonna really miss out on some free money for like on 2 games? You know what I mean? Like, dude, they could Pokemon it up and then do a complete.
This is Nintendo we're talking about. Yes, they are going to walk away from free money. They
yeah, they're going to be like, guys,
see their April Fool's joke. They're everything's on Switch. Just kidding.
They're like, guys, look, people want this. We don't do it. Don't do it.
Here's a Mario cooking simulator instead.
Hey man, I get that. I get that.
on iOS even because they pay you.
Oh yeah, I know. I would download it, bro. It does not matter. I'm downloading Dr. Mario Day 1. I'm downloading. I hate Tetris too. I'm downloading Dr. Mario Day 1. I'm still waiting for my Mario Kart iOS that Reggie promised me and retired. Okay. So
it's coming. It's coming.
Yeah, it's coming. My ass. All right, your turn, Clay.
Ew, your ass is coming. Gross.
Might want to get that checked out.
Yeah. Come on, man. Like, Mike, this is the company that made a April Fool's joke about how the fact that they don't give you everything. That the joke is.
That was IGN.
Well, yeah, but I mean that was in partnership with Nintendo. There's no way they didn't make that. Dude, come on.
This is the company that made a Legend of Zelda fan film trailer back in like the early days of the internet, where everyone thought it was real.
IGN, I guarantee they asked permission at the very least. Like they have too much to lose to ruin their reputation with Nintendo. They would like send them a courtesy email and be like, hey, we're about to make complete fun of your Nintendo Directs. Like we're gonna literally make it look like your Nintendo Directs. Like that people are going to get fooled like for the first 5 minutes of like thinking this is real. You know, that it's like, all right. I literally had a friend that was like, I couldn't believe this was happening until they got into the like most absurd titles. I'm like, you're fucking ridiculous. Like, how did you believe that? You know, hey, you know, I don't know what I was. So, Matt, you asked the question. I'll bounce it back at you. How do you feel about Monolith Soft getting involved with the Zelda franchise potentially?
I don't know because I haven't played any Xenoblade games, so I don't know.
Okay. I mean, they had a hand.
Like, I don't think it would.
Things. You never played Bait and Kados or whatever that other
No.
RPG series that's kind of the predecessor to Xenoblade?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I even played some of that because I had heard so much about it back on GameCube that I got it, not knowing what it was. I got it like at a used store, and found out that I dislike RPGs still. And I was like, okay, you know. The game they did make that I've always wanted to play, they made Disaster Day of Crisis, which is a game that only came out in other regions for Wii, and I never soft modded my Wii, and that was the only way to play it. And I've always wanted to. It's one of those games I know it would look like butt now, but it sounded really. It was like a disaster scenario game. It sounded like, and it sounded really cool. I always wanted to play it, but I never got around to it. So, yeah, I'm looking through their list of games here. It's not too much other things really. Dragon Ball Z. They made a Dragon Ball Z game. Who didn't? You know, for real. It's like crazy. Namco versus Capcom. Did you play that, Mike? Mike, you still there? He's probably on mute. Did you?
I wanted Namco versus. I played Project Cross soon. So Project XM 1 and 2 on the 3DS. That's the predecessor of Namco versus Capcom. But yeah, you didn't know that? You didn't play those? Those games are awesome. I honestly, if anyone still plays their 3DS, I actually like them a lot. So,
yeah. Oh man, that reminds me. You liked them so much you couldn't even remember to tell me what you liked about the sequel. You're like, I don't remember anything about it.
Oh yeah, I remember. I was like, man. You're like, what's the difference? I'm like, differences? I could not remember. I could not make one comparison between 1 and 2. Like, I legitimately was like, I still can't to this day. I'm like, I know like about the games, how they are, and I'm like, I honestly think it's a sequel of it's the legitimate term, the actual definition of a sequel. Yeah, nothing changed.
Nothing different.
They're just like, oh, we added like 2 or 3 guys. I'm like, all right, yeah. And they're like, but what about the gameplay? That's the review, guys. That's it. They added some more characters.
Nice. Yeah. So you have no thoughts, Matt. You're bowing out on it. I mean, I don't have anything to add either. Nintendo owns them. Nintendo doesn't hand out Zelda, get into the club cards very easily. They also exact so much control over their games that like Metroid Prime is being like completely rebuilt because it didn't suit their standards. So to me, I don't worry. It's not like they're handing off to like Joe Schmo's like indie company that has like Angry Birds under its belt or something. It's like whatever, it's going to be quality, or they're not going to we'll never see it, or they'll take it back. I mean, for real, it's the control they exact over those kind of properties. It's not like we're going to get like the fake Pikmin walking game that is like no fun at all and nobody played. We're going to get a Zelda game or we're never going to see it. So to me, it's like whatever. And I like Xenoblade 1 for the little bit I played of it. So it's like they're a good developer,
Yeah. I don't think they would just like hand it over to them just because it's like so huge and it takes them so long to make.
Sure.
At most they might like partner and like both work on it, but
Yep.
I don't know.
That makes sense.
Or maybe it's not even like a mainline Zelda game. It's just like, here, you make your own weird RPG spin-off like all the other spin-offs people are doing. And that'd be cool for that. I don't know. I haven't played Xenoblade, but I don't really like the way the combat looks. It looks very awkward. Like, you gotta move and you gotta select the thing on another track, and I don't know. It just seems... It makes me think of Kingdom Hearts, and I'm thinking I don't want anything to do with that. It's like you gotta do 2 things at once for no reason other than to be awkward.
Wrong!
Mike's dropping his mic.
I'll tell you right now. I'll give you a simple explanation of garbage ass Xenoblade.
Here we
Okay.
go.
So
Here we go.
yeah,
I thought
you
you
move
liked
around.
the first one.
Right? Yeah, you move around, right? No, you don't, Matt. You can move around for free. It does not matter. If I just say I'm an AI
Oh, so it's
enemy,
pointless.
all I
So
do
that's
is
even,
punch forward.
it's even
Okay,
worse.
all I do is punch forward. You could literally, you could pick your character, go behind me, and I'm still facing forward and punching. It will still connect.
Oh,
Okay,
so it's one of
that's
those
how
fake.
shitty. Yes, that
Yeah.
fake. Okay, and then
Okay, so-
yes, you do have to move around your thing. Like you do have to select your arts. Usually, it's pretty easy to, but you do not have to move around the game. You're in the battle circle, and if you do side slash at his side, you'll do more damage. But it does not matter that the enemy is just facing forward and punching forward the whole time because you will be hit every
That
time.
kind of makes
even
me
if you're-
more relieved because it'd be less stupid.
No,
like-
it's more stupid.
But
Trust me, when you
it
play
also,
you're
well,
like,
I mean, it sounds stupid because it's like, oh, here's this one move where you actually have to be beside them, but for the most part, you just select moves.
yeah, that's exactly it. So you have an auto attack that automatically attacks.
Oh,
while you move
okay.
around.
Never mind the stupidest pack.
Okay, so like,
What is this, Final
like,
Fantasy 13 auto attack garbage?
No, at least at that one you have to press a button, alright? This auto attack, like you literally move around on your stick and your character attacks every, like, let's just say 1.5 seconds, okay? And the enemy attacks every 2. So you're running around the battlefield, and every 1.5 seconds, as long as you stop running, you're gonna hit him, and then you could combo with your art. That is what Xenoblade is, okay? So, like, backslash does more if you're behind them, but it does not matter that you're quote-unquote behind them, because he's punching forward and still hitting you, buddy.
Yeah.
So, there you go.
So hopefully it doesn't happen
It
because I
sounds
hate
like every RPG ever.
it. No.
No. All right. Clay, you only understand. You're like, oh, it's just like Final Fantasy 4. 2D, you young whippersnappers. Like, no, that's we're not talking on a 2D plane. All right. Damn, so much ranting in this podcast, guys. I need some water. All right? I didn't know I had to come here and scold all day.
I mean, it's a podcast. That's like half your job.
That is true. That is true. I thought it was gonna be a nice chill one. I had my feet up. I was by the fireplace, and all of a sudden,
By the fireplace in
I
Los Angeles.
Yeah. I was like, that fireplace here in Los Angeles, all right? And then freaking, you guys are all like, dude, did you ever hear about Breath of the Wild? And I literally threw my chair into the fireplace. Okay.
All right. Well, we're glad we had to. That chair needed to go anyway. It was worn out. The game. You need a new gaming chair, my friend. All right. Matt, what else is in the news? We don't care about Monolith Soft making Zelda or not. We're like, whatever. We hope it's more like Xenoblade, like the next Zelda. That'll make Mike happy. Summary, awesome
No,
idea.
summary, nothing like Breath of the Wild or Skyward Sword equals Mike happy, and nothing like Xenoblade combat system. All right, there you go.
A regular JRPG.
Yeah.
I'd be cool with that. It's a spinoff, at least.
All right.
But yeah, I think this is probably a quick one. I didn't even know about this, but apparently Octopath Traveler is getting a sequel. By the way they worded it, they said it like a while ago, but I never like read that in the news anywhere. I think Eli was the only one that actually played it, but I don't know if you're interested in that. But they're making one, so there you go. I don't know if they're gonna make a Bravely Default game or if that's an or whatever.
I know that a lot of people I talked to that played it or were interested in it were only stuck with it for a little while, that they really liked the art style, but that they thought it got boring eventually. And I said, I naturally made fun of them and said, what did you think? It was an RPG, and then they were like, shut up. I like RPGs. And I'm like, doesn't sound like you like them that much if you didn't finish it. But no, I don't know. It looked beautiful. I mean, like that they make very interesting versions of RPGs. So I'm happy for other people. I think they're always going to be an audience for games that look like that or play a little bit like that kind of art style or classic RPG with sprite work like that, because there's this itch for like Chrono Trigger and stuff like that with a certain element of the gaming community that just want like this deep, complex, interwoven story, classic RPG like that. So I didn't know there was a sequel coming either. I mean, isn't Octopath Traveler the sequel to Default Fairy or whatever? Isn't that already a sequel?
I think it's like some kind of offshoot. I don't remember exactly.
Okay.
I think it's
Yeah.
the same team that made it.
Got it. Okay.
Sounds like a
They got
spiritual successor.
Got it. I
Yeah.
mean, they have the greatest titles. I love a good weird title for a game. I really genuinely do. I'm not being ironic. And those two games, Bravely Default, Flying Fairy, that is the most hilarious title ever. Like, I'm like, who greenlighted this? I don't know, but I don't care. It's funny. And then Octopath Traveler, it's like a random word generator. They just pressed a button until they saw a funny title. I'm like, but I like it. It's kind of funny. I hope I hope they have that series continue with that kind of tradition or whatever.
I meant to mention that before when Mike was bringing up the Final Fantasy game, but I'm like, of course the Final Fantasy game with the normal title is the worst one.
Nice.
The normal the title is the worst.
But
did you play Octopath Traveler, Mike? You didn't play it?
Nah, my friend got it. I just like I kind of wanted to play it, and then I heard like job building kind of thing, and I was like, I'm not too keen. Like I like my JRPGs, but I just picked up Final Fantasy 9 on my Switch because like I'm tired of losing my gold coins and never using them. So I just used like $13 of gold coins, and I was like, all right, I can get this game for like $5. But it just pissed me off because I let like 300 more expire because I kept forgetting. You know what I mean? Like
I was curious. I know you like RPGs, you know.
Yeah.
So I was,
it just makes me mad that like Nintendo, like they don't warn you when you're about to lose your gold coins. Those are like actual monetary value, you know, not like the platinum garbage coins. So I was just like kind of upset, and I was like, damn, dude, I had like $15, $16 of gold coins, and I won't. Yeah, and then like I came in, and it was like, oh, you have like $12.30 left of coins, and I'm like, shit, like just email me when they're about to expire or something, you know.
Yeah, I'm gonna make sure to check that. I don't think I buy that much online, but that's.
I mean, but you, like it's
I
such
forget.
a good
Is it like
you know what I mean? Like games sub 15. Like I mean, you can get games for free that are under $5-10, and then like all of a sudden you forget to do it, like or like go on sale, and then you go to check your coins, and it's like, oh, I thought I had $10 of coins. You have like $6.30. You know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's annoying. I think we'll leave it off with this last one. So we actually brought it up before, but I'm pretty sure Unoclay has some thoughts on it because he's the only one who owns this stuff. They showed off Labo VR a little while ago, and Unoclay is the only one who owns Labo, so I want to hear what you have to think about it.
I might get it. I mean, in the Labo news, I know we go Amiibo news sometimes, and then Eli's like head explodes for like 15 minutes about like talking about it. You know, like for me, it's like Labo. There was like a weird like pricing change for Target stores in America, at least, that had been spread around the internet. That was like, okay, so some Targets are having the original 2 Labo kits on sale, and so I hit up one store because I only have the original kit 1, the variety kit. I don't have the big robot suit. I didn't really want it, but I was curious, you know, if it would have been cheap, because the prices that people were taking pictures of were really low, like $20 or less for a whole kit, and I was like, I want to get it if it's $20. Like I'll put it together for shoots and giggles. I still haven't done the piano yet from the original set. I've been saving it, and I keep meaning to do it, and I've just heard it takes hours, so I've never done it yet. But and it's the coolest one by far, so that's kind of stupid of me. But I wanted to get the driving kit if I could find that one for cheap. The one store I went to didn't have it discounted. I walked in another store and they did have it discounted, but they were all gone. Like everybody had already swarmed. Like, so apparently a pricing cut on Labo makes it popular again. To that note, the VR kit, as long as it isn't hideously expensive, I'll probably get it, because that sounds really interesting to me, if nothing else than a party trick kind of thing to show people and like, check this out kind of thing or whatever, or just mess around with. I would love to hear that the games are more substantial this time, that like, if at least that there's some longevity to the games, because Labo Kit 1, the variety kit that has like a steering, like a motorcycle game in it, and it's got the fishing game in it. There's not a heck of a lot to keep you coming back to it. I mean, the nicest thing you could say about it is that the fishing game is funny and you can play it for a little while. And the driving steering handlebars, you can use them in Mario Kart if you have it on Switch. So that's pretty cool, like kind of neat feature. But yeah, you don't go, and the piano, I do plan to build it and like try to make some songs and like wire it up to my GarageBand on my computer and like record stuff, and like mess with it and see what I can do with it, even if I just make one song, like make a song with it. But so that's probably the best thing. The VR, provided it doesn't like just tank right at the gate and the reviews are terrible and all that anyone's saying is like, oh, the games just are like fun for like 1 minute. If that happens, I'll reconsider. I will definitely look at a review before I buy it, but I find it intriguing. I would love to see if it works myself, like hands-on kind of experience rather than just rely on other people talking about it. Like I just think it's creative. I still think it's creative enough that I'm interested in Labo. I think this is the shot in the arm it needed. Like a VR is the perfect like change up to get it back on brand, like get it back in people's radar for the small percentage of people that are probably interested in it. Because I'm like, yeah, another kit, like what is it going to take to make me buy it? Like it would take a lot because I didn't buy the driving kit. I skipped that one. I was like, whatever. I was like, I can tell where this is going. I don't know. Labo is a really genius product, which is like fundamentally flawed because it's boring when you're done with it. But Lego has the same problem, frankly, and people collect Lego. So it's like, I don't know. I'm excited tentatively for it, but I'm gonna wait for reviews. And the fact that there was just that huge price drop for Labo at Target for the older kits also gives me that pause. And I'm like, well, maybe I could wait like a year and just keep my eyes really peeled for it and get it when it drops a few bucks and it's more worth it for a box of cardboard, or whatever. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I don't know. I know you guys probably aren't interested, right? You guys are just like yawn, Labo.
It looks neat. It's always just for me about like price, not because right. It's just because I know how much time I'm going to spend in it,
right?
With it, and I'm like, am I really going to get $80 or $100 or whatever out of this for my for what it costs here? And it's like I don't want to spend that much.
Of course.
When I heard the price drop happen, I'm like, cool, I'll check it out and see if it happened. Of course, nothing ever like that happens over here, so I didn't bother. But I mean, if it goes on a price drop or something eventually, then I might pick it up because it does look neat.
Yeah,
and it does look like they put some more effort into it. Like it looks like some of the games actually have like an amount of levels versus before where it's like, here's this one thing, I assume, and then like that's it.
Right.
But yeah, like, and also the VR aspect kind of makes it stand out a bit more too. So I think that's
neat. Yeah, I really want to see what they're going to do with that. I mean, Nintendo wouldn't push it out the door if it didn't work on some level. Mm-hmm. And if they can just make something creative and fun to play, like just please put a little more work into the game is all I want them to do. Like Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker is not a complex, deep game, but it's super fun. Mm-hmm. Give me something like that. I know that takes a lot more development than me just wishing for it, like with a bunch of words. And they're like, yeah, that's like 18 months of work, dickhead. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, please just give me that, like whatever. Like, but like something like that. I mean, I wouldn't even care if it was something like that it was like, hey, we're going to give you 10 levels of Captain Toad's Treasure Tracker, or like, I'm just thinking outside the box here. What are those games called? The mini game and NES and minigame SNES games that were on Wii U.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. The like NES remix.
The remixes, yeah. Like give us like a remix type game in the Labo universe, and I'm down. I'll play it. Like that'll be fun. Like because those games are hard to justify their full scale price tag anymore. In the world of Mike's famous smartphone gaming addictions, for like free or whatever. It's hard to justify paying like more than $30 for a game like those remix games now. Throw that stuff in with Labo, like you don't have to give us all or WarioWare or anything, it's just the game's problem would be the last frontier they need to solve, and then I think it would help a lot because people are going to start to write off Labo real soon if they don't fix that part of it. Because if this series comes out, if this new one comes out and it's just the same story, it's like, well, it's really fun for like 10 minutes and then you put it on your shelf and never know what to do with it again. Yeah, that's going to be bad for Labo down the road because they're not going to be able to reinvent it 10 times that I can imagine, but maybe I'm wrong. I'm on board as long as the reviews aren't horrible is what I'll say about it. So that's
what's interesting is I forget, there was some of the other games you had a creation aspect, and you can do that as well with this, but with like actual characters. Like you can, I don't know, edit this character and make him run in certain places or do certain things, or someone made like a fake Mario Kart clone they have in the trailer. So if they have like a curated I don't know, online store or something where you can download people's other creations, I think that could help it a bit. I don't know how much.
Oh,
but,
that would be awesome.
But it's
Matt.
like, what's
that
the point of having these creative things if you can't like share it with people? Like that's how Little Big Planet became,
right,
so huge, because you could share it with everyone.
That's a great idea. I wish they would do that. I mean, because like I forgot about that aspect, that it's going to have the creator garage, that theoretically you'll be able to make VR games in the creator garage. That's insane. And like that alone, I forgot about that element of it, actually. Like, so that alone makes me be like, even if the reviews are middling, I could still see buying it, because I'd be like, this is really crazy. I can make some kind of like 3D environment or something and like walk around in it, like like Minecrafty simplistic like type like VR situation. Like I don't even know, I have no idea what the capabilities are going to be, and you got to wonder, is it really going to be, are they really going to like put that much work into it to make something robust that you could actually use and develop little mini games in? Even like a little environment would be probably a heavy lift, like to develop.
Well,
but I mean,
they just give you a set of tools that you can use, right? So and then you can edit them. But there's there's a lot of stuff you can do with it here. So I think they should have an online store, because then it, like, how do you not have that in this day and age? Like, it just seems silly. But yeah, I think we'll wrap it up there on Labo and the podcast. You can find me at the Mango Viking on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And where can people find you, Mike?
All right, guys, you could find me at Troy Fullbuster on Twitter, or SMBGame64/GameMen on YouTube. And I think some stuff's going to be coming out. But yeah. Thank you guys also for the good wishes earlier.
No
and
problem,
thanks for sticking out. We'll be back to East Coast living, all of us soon.
Eventually. And Unoclay, where can people find you?
Unoclay_Switch on Twitter, and if you want to look at some of my old gaming videos, that's Unoclay Gaming on YouTube. Maybe someday I'll get back to putting things on there. It's just not my focus right now.
Cool. So wherever you're listening, you can find us at Just Another Castle on every platform on the internet. Hit us up with your questions if you're interested in being a guest at Just Another Castle, or me directly at the Mango Viking. So until next time, leave luck to the heavens and leave gaming to Nintendo.
In each of us, the future of Skyrim, the future of Worcester.